Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to podcast Room 303, episode 170. I'm your host, Jermaine Colon Mendez. This is my co-host, Nicholas Morahan. And as always, we have with us the EPE. How you doing this evening, Nick?
I'm a little frustrated.
Ooh, okay. Open it up. Let us hear it.
I don't know. The fucking Baseball Writers Association of America.
Oh, we've heard this one before.
I don't get it. I don't get it. It's almost not worth talking about at this point. Like
Ooh,
Scott Rowland in a year where you have on the ballot. Let me read off some names on the ballot that you guys might recognize out there, right? Andrew Jones, Gary Sheffield, Carlos Beltran, Jeff Kent, Alex Rodriguez, Manny Ramirez, Andy Pettit, Bobby Abreu, Jimmy Rollins, Mike Burley, Francisco Rodriguez. Remember how good K-Rod was? Torrey Hunter.
Emmanuel Kant, Kurt Schilling. Is Kurt Schilling still on there?
No. Kurt Schilling moved to the old people bracket.
Don't say it.
So those are some names. And your bannerman for this year, your one inductee to the Hall of Fame is Scott Rowland.
Stud. Just kidding.
I was about to say you're backing a St. Louis Cardinal like that?
No, absolutely not. I was annoyed when I saw the name roll through my screen. I was just like, he didn't do anything.
Don't get me wrong. Scott Rowland was a very good third baseman for 17 years. What do we say on this podcast? Longevity does not equal legacy. Yeah, my numbers would be Hall of Fame numbers if I played for 17 years. If you get 100 hits a year in 600 at bats, aka I bat 1 for 6, I have 1,700 hits. Longevity does not equal legacy. Scott Rowland, after playing 17 years, is an average third baseman, an average Hall of Fame third baseman. So sure, does he get in the Hall of Fame? Probably. In a week, and I'm going to be perfectly honest here, the ballot is not strong.
Not right now. It's going to get strong, though.
It's going to get strong, right? But the ballot is not strong. And when you elected David Ortiz, you removed your... I don't even think David Ortiz is a first ballot Hall of Famer, but he's already in. So,
he's first ballot as far as likability.
Oh, 100%, dude. I think he might be, yeah.
He might be the most
while he was playing,
beloved.
While he was playing. I mean, when he made that speech after the Boston Marathon, that he was like, "Fuck the Boston Marathon Bombers." They were like, induct him into the Hall.
That booked him, and then that and the attempted murder.
Right. Okay. Whatever. He's in. I'm not going to complain about that. But when you have a year with a weak ballot, and you have a bunch of, let's be perfectly honest, average Hall of Famers at their position, like Scott Rowland. I hate to say it. Todd Helton is an average Hall of Fame first baseman. Is he the only Colorado Rockies jersey that I have and my childhood idol? Yes. Andrew Jones, average outfielder. Gary Sheffield, average outfielder. Carlos Beltran, average outfielder. Jeff Kent, average second baseman.
Whoa.
Average second baseman.
Carlos Beltran is not average.
Carlos Beltran is an average outfielder.
No way. That man's Hall of Fame for sure.
Stats-wise, he is an average Hall of Fame outfielder. Again, I'm not saying, to the people out there, Jermaine is arguing with me for argument's sake because he didn't say a peep in pre-show when I brought this up.
No, I said Carlos Beltran was first ballot pre-show.
No.
That's what I said pre-show. No, 9-time All-Star, 3-time Gold Glove, 2-time Silver Slugger, Rookie of the Year. He has 2,725 hits, 435 home runs, and a 279 batting average. That dude was first ballot for sure.
I don't think he's first ballot.
70.1 WAR.
In this year, he is an average Hall of Fame. Actually, in any year, looking at any resume, he's an average Hall of Fame outfielder, right? We're going to take that argument and we're going to bucket that argument. And we're going to say maybe 3 years ago, Carlos Beltran is not in the Hall of Fame. This year, how do you not have 5 or 6 inductees into the Hall of Fame? Like, how many writers just abstained? Like, do your fucking job and vote for somebody in the Hall of Fame, or don't vote for them at all. Todd Helton missed the ballot by 11 votes. Billy Wagner got 68%. Andrew Jones got 58%. Sheffield got 55%. Beltran got 46%. Kent got 46%. He's off the ballot. We're not even talking about the cream of this ballot, which is Alex Rodriguez and Manny Ramirez, who are far and above Hall of Famers. But they are disliked by the, yes, I'll say it and I'll bring it in, the white, old-fashioned baseball writers of America.
Carlos Beltran, first ballot.
Scott Rowland is your one inductee this year?
He should not be in the Hall of Fame. No disrespect.
I'd rather you guys not induct anyone, to be perfectly honest.
He should not be in the Hall of Fame. I don't.
Ballot, make it a historic year. Make it a historic year. It's only happened 7 times before this that they have not elected anyone to the Hall of Fame. But then again, I get why they do it, why they have to elect someone, because that basically says, hey, until we get some new blood in the ballot, nobody's worthy of the Hall of Fame. And I don't understand this vote progression among writers. Your opinion gets better of him the more you look at his resume. What, do you need Todd Helton to get out there and hit a few extra home runs? This is lovely dead silence, gentlemen.
Well, I thought you were still ranting about the baseball. What am I supposed to say on their behalf? I can't back them up.
I don't want you to say anything on their
behalf. I hate them too.
It's just so stupid. Like if you take a look at, like, okay, Jermaine, you are a hiring manager for a job. I give you my resume.
Hired.
You don't take my resume and go, well, we'll look at him next week. But this week, he's not really the quality we're looking for. What's going to improve? Like, well, actually, hold on. That's not even true, because I can improve my resume in a week.
Yeah, these guys are...
They're done.
There's a different analogy somewhere there.
You can only get worse, right? Because you're operating now in the court of public opinion. And you got to do this bullshit of, oh, was Todd Helton hitting at Coors? Carlos Beltran was playing at the end of the steroid era.
Who cares about that?
Like Manny Ramirez played in. Manny Ramirez was a show off who went and played in Japan for a couple years. What are we going to keep putting caveats on the Hall of Fame full of guys from the 30s who paid off the media to write about how good and great they were?
And also did start the steroid era was post World War II. Don't let anyone tell you differently.
Go look up media articles from writers from the Yankees in the 30s. Like, I'm pretty sure Mickey Mantle, I know he's not in the 30s. I'm pretty sure Lou Gehrig could have openly assaulted a woman on a baseball diamond. And they would have been like, what great punches there by Gehrig. That's why we call him a Hall of Famer. Like you have people that we know nothing about in the Hall of Fame socially. They could be terrible people. And yet we go, but you know what? Thris Speaker was one of the best center fielders of the 20s. We don't know how he was as a person, right? And back then it was like, oh yeah, Thris Speaker used to get drunk and hit his wife. That was just all the aggression that he didn't get out on the baseball field. Now you're judging people with this look that you're like, well, is he a good social person? Did he abstain? Did he get to the rules of baseball? Your leading hit leader all time and your leading home run leader, your leading home run hitter all time are not in the Hall of Fame.
The greatest hitter and the greatest home run hitter of all time are not in.
Right.
Pete Rose is a guaranteed base knock, bro. like guaranteed.
Let me look at this stat real quick. Hit leaders MLB.
He's 4,200, right?
Far and above.
He's 4,200, and the next closest guy is like what? 700?
Yeah.
4,100?
41.
Oh, it's off
who
100.
who that person is? That's Ty Cobb. The person below Ty Cobb has 3,771. Pete Rose is is one of 2 players in MLB history with over 4,000 hits, and he's not even 100. Like the second place guy is not even 100 hits closest to him. He's not
Ichiro combined. How many hits does Ichiro have combined?
above Pete Rose.
Yeah, he's the only other. How many people have broken 4,000?
2.
Just Pete Rose or Pete Rose?
Pete Rose and Ty Cobb.
Ty Cobb.
And Ichiro, if you include all his.
Before he came to he came to the MLB at 27 or 28.
He came to the so Ichiro in his professional career had 4,367 hits, 3,089 in MLB baseball, by the way.
Dude. And he came over at what, 27?
Let's see. Let's take a look at his yes, his first season was 27, in which he won MVP and Rookie of the Year.
Well, okay, that's a slanted Rookie of the Year though.
Right.
Hashtag ain't your daddy's rook, as Nick likes to say it.
Yeah.
That's
a grown ass man.
All right, so we all unilaterally agree that Carlos Beltran was first ballot. We all universally agree that the baseball writers of BBWA, right? Baseball writers.
I think it's just BBWA, Baseball Writers of America.
Oh, I thought it was Association of America. I thought it was BBWAA. Anyways, they stink. Pete Rose is a Hall of Famer. Barry Bonds is a Hall of Famer. Scott Rowland, I don't think he's a Hall of Famer. I looked up his stats, Nick, and you keep saying that he played 17 years. I only see 12.
Who did? Rowland?
Scott Rowland. I only see 12 when I look up his stats.
No.
Just kidding. I'm using my old buddy EPE's technique. He played for the Cardinals for 5 years, so that doesn't exist. Trash. Anyways, how you doing this evening, Eric? Now that Nick has pontificated for the last 13 or so minutes.
Well, it seems like I'm doing better than Nick and most of the guys that were on the Hall of Fame card. So, but a lot to look forward this week for me. So I'm excited. We'll get into that later in the show. But getting my wisdom teeth pulled, can't wait to have this constant headache gone. So that's going to be awesome.
Don't talk about Jermaine like that. He's your landlord.
Yeah, put some respect on your keeper's name.
All right.
You are your brother's keeper.
Oh, all right. So today's episode 170, as we mentioned at the top, we'll be getting into pop culture pick'em. As always, today's topic is top 5 rappers who act. I actually did not check the order of the
Nick, Jermaine, Eric.
Nick, Jermaine, Eric. Appreciate you, Eric. And then we'll get into the NFL Divisional Review. We'll talk about playoff picks. Mine are a bit skewed. Mid-podcast, I said I'm not betting Tampa Bay anymore, but I still have those 2 losses on my ledger. Whatever. I'll take it. I have Buffalo and Dallas, and they're both eliminated. We'll get into that a little bit later. All right. So, anyone have any last nickels? Yo, this beer is skunked.
Or does that mean all of them are skunked?
Probably. This one's empty, though.
You gonna power through?
Does the Pope like little boys?
I don't know.
When you talked about the 30s, I was just fondly thinking the good old days.
Mm-hmm. I know. Listen, hey, I know I might have just burned my card to Angry White Manistan, but maybe it's something that has to be done on occasion.
Angry White Manistan. Little lesser known country right between I Need a Pia Stan.
And
in an actual country.
Yeah.
Okay.
If I gave you a map, would you, Eric, if I gave you a map, would you know where the country Uzbekistan is?
I might get the region, like the area right, but I don't think I'll get the country.
What about
exactly
Azerbaijan?
right. I don't think I'd get it exactly right either. I know that I think I'd get the area right, but I wouldn't get the exact on the map.
Yeah, I know the area, but if it's not written in for me, I'm probably shit out of luck.
I did that 50 states test the other day at work. There was like a little icebreaker fucking thing. And I went in,
that was really just an intelligence test to see which one of their workers is an idiot.
Well, let me tell you this. I went into that bitch confident as fuck and left having to pick my pride up off the floor because there was a lot of states.
I should have bet on
I did
states.
not know. I mean, I knew the I knew the general area, but I mixed up some of them. Like some of the shapes and squares are the same as other states, dude.
I got the general area.
Oh, and I did not place Alaska in the wrong place.
Eric's just on the map being like, I don't know, California over here.
They got coast, right?
Yo, he just wrote Boston from like New York to Maine.
Yeah, he actually put New England on it.
I mean, it wouldn't be wrong, I guess.
I got the key states that matter, though, so that's all that matters.
Oh, here we go. What states matter?
Texas and Florida, baby.
I've been told that all states matter.
No, that's only media propaganda. All states are not created equally, baby.
Toe the line. Toe the line. All right, quick question for you before we get into this pop culture pickup. I've heard some people call the age that we're in right now for television the golden age of television.
Oh, Jesus.
Do you agree or disagree?
Eric, I'm gonna let you take this.
I agree.
Okay. Why?
Because up until The Sopranos, we really just had like sitcoms and like news and night shows and stuff, and we had other shows that were, I guess, as dramatic as we have now. But once The Sopranos came along, and then The Wire came along, and they just started, then we got Breaking Bad and Game of Thrones, and there's a whole lot of shows that I'm not talking about. But as far as television, I think we are, because we're still getting new content. And in Hollywood, for movies specifically, everything's recycled, everything's redone. And I think it all has to do with that strike that happened back
is
I can't
TV,
remember.
Though.
No. I mean, yeah, like they brought back that 90s show and blah, 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 and all that stuff. But there's really just more creative and more character-driven shows, and it's not just a sitcom like it used to be. So I do think we're in the golden era of television.
All right. And you, Nick?
I got a question for you, Eric. I got a question for Eric. Which of these shows that you're watching now are you going to go back and watch in 20 years?
Oh, shit, dude. That was my follow-up question. I was waiting for you to answer first, Nick.
I mean, I think there's a lot of them. I think I can go back and watch Yellowstone. I can go back and watch Game of Thrones. I can go back and watch...
Ooh,
I can definitely go back and watch
Game of Thrones is over.
Game of Thrones is not in the golden age.
Wait.
Game of Thrones has been wrapped.
Right.
You said...
Yeah, we're currently in. Yeah.
What's the dates for this era? Because when did it start for this person that created this question? Because for me, it started with The Sopranos, and we're still in it.
What?
We might be at the back end of it.
Dude, that's
like 25 years.
That might be the craziest thing you've said on this podcast.
Yo, that's 25 years.
The year 2000, when The Sopranos was at its height, is entirely different from today.
I'll say this. Sopranos is what triggered us to move in this direction. And if we have to exclude it, but I will say, like, I'll go back and watch Game of Thrones. Oh, wait, no. When would it start, though? Like, what qualifies as... when did this golden era start? Because for me, it started, like, in 2010.
Bro, your like, eras are gigantic. That's, like, super, super big. But if you're saying 2012, maybe. All right, so 2012. Let's say, for the argument's sake, we're setting it at 2012, right? We'll put it at a 10-year. It's a decade long, right? Okay. Yeah. So 2012. How many shows that have come out since 2012 are you going to think of as fondly as The Sopranos?
I would say True Detective. I would say Westworld.
True Detective, you told me that season 2 stinks.
Season 2 stinks.
Season 2 stinks.
Season 1 and 3
that's not a good show anymore.
So that okay.
No, I would go back and watch it. I would go back and watch it.
Which
I would
ended
watch
when?
the whole season.
Okay, season 1. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Why am I spanking?
Spanking? I don't know.
Why am I blanking? Hold on. Oh my god.
Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad. Fuck, how did I space on that so bad? Definitely Breaking Bad. True Blood.
You good, Eric? He's
Yeah.
toast.
Not.
All right, so for the record, Breaking Bad started in 2008. True Detective started in 2014. All right, keep going. You said Game of Thrones, right?
Game of Thrones, Westworld for sure.
Game of Thrones, 2011. Westworld?
Yeah, I love Westworld.
Yo, we were watching Westworld in Diego.
Have you seen all of Westworld? Because it's trash after season one.
One and two.
It's
one
trash
and two,
after season 2.
1 and 2.
And season 2 ended sus.
As soon as Aaron Paul joins the show.
All right. Yellowstone, great show.
I haven't seen that one. Can't comment.
Yellowstone is great.
But everyone tells me it's Sopranos with cowboys. So, of course, you like it because you love the Sopranos.
Yeah.
So here's my thoughts, right?
That's it, Eric? That's the only ones you can name?
Oh, hold on, man. I'm just trying to think. And hold on, let me think. Power was really good. I would go back and watch Power for sure. With Ghost and 50 Cent and all that. I'd definitely go back and watch that.
That show's not that good.
Spoilers.
Oh, the one with Timothy Oliphant on FX. And then Sons of Anarchy, Justified, Sons of Anarchy. I would go back and watch those for sure.
I think you are confusing now with the golden age of television, which are all the shows you are naming.
Justified is 2010, right? You said
but how long did it run?
It doesn't matter. It's when it started.
So no, we're not in the golden era of television then.
And Sons of Anarchy was 2008. There's 7 seasons, so by the time we got to 2012, we were already 4 to 5 seasons in it.
This is a really hard question to answer because all this shit's coming around like in different.
Here's my point, Eric. Here's my point: is that in COVID, everybody started rewatching their old shows, and now they're somehow convinced that we're in a golden age of television because they rewatched the golden age of television. Right? I will say the one good thing about today's television is that networks can't put out bad shows. Like HBO can't put out a bad show because no one will watch it because I have so many other options of shows to watch. And that's driving quality. But I'm not going to go back and rewatch any of the shows right now. Like, what's the John Cena one? Peacemaker. It was a good show. I'm not going to go back and watch it 10 years from now. Right?
All right.
Like, there are good entertaining shows that will keep me for that run, and then I'm on to the next one, right? Rick and Morty. I'm not going to go back and rewatch Rick and Morty like I rewatched The Simpsons.
I don't even like Rick and Morty.
Right.
I don't know why.
Rick and Morty is a divisive subject. I understand what you're saying, Eric. I think you're right. I think you and I agree. You are naming shows that are in the golden era of television.
That's what I was trying to say.
But right now there are not yet. Right now there are not good.
When Breaking Bad started, started the golden age of television. We're out of it now, though. We're in the quantity, not quality. But go ahead, Eric. Sorry, I didn't mean to keep cutting you off. Go ahead.
No, it's fine. It's just that's just as you can see, my mind was all over the place. I was thinking stuff back to 2007, 2006. I was thinking stuff that
the golden age of television. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just hard because, like, what do you guys are saying? An era should be what, 5-6 years?
It should be a decade.
If you take 2009 to 2019, there are shows running then that are.
Yeah, and I think
generational shows.
I think that's what my mistake was, thinking that we were still, because it does. Maybe it's the sports thing that we talked about yesterday, Jermaine, where it's like Steph Curry's been in the league 12 years, but it feels like he's been in the league 20 years, right? And it feels like all these shows are still recent to me. So I think that's where the confusion came. Now, if we want to say it from a specific era, like currently, if we're in the golden era, probably not, because there's a lot of rubbish coming out too. But
I think that's it. It's COVID, dude. It's COVID. Everyone in COVID was like, the writers are on strike. Nobody's making new stuff. So let me go back and I'll rewatch The Wire. I'll rewatch Breaking Bad. What did we say the other day when we were doing our awards thing? The Wire never won an award. The Wire is good because people went back and they're like, this is a masterpiece.
Mm-hmm. It wasn't even appreciated in its own time. That's what was so crazy. My argument is HBO alone at turn of the century was pumping out amazing. Band of Brothers. Generation Kill, Sopranos, The Wire. I mean, HBO alone at the turn of the century shits on what we're getting right now.
And think of like College Days AMC. You had the first seasons of Walking Dead. You had Hell on Wheels. Good.
Hell on Wheels is tight,
was a fantastic show.
Into the Badlands.
About didn't they have Fargo? Well, they had Fargo, and then didn't they have that show about the douchebags in the work office in like the 70s? What was that called?
Mad Men.
Yeah, there we go. Or 60s. I don't remember what 50s, it was, but apparently it was a great 60s. Fucking show.
Mad Men. Yeah, there you go. So you had Mad Men, Walking Dead, and Hell on Wheels back to back to back. When
AMC was just hitting. That was Breaking Bad was there too. Oh, AMC was hitting, bro.
AMC is still riding coattails of like 2013.
My argument now is like, like the stuff that has been dropped in the last 4 or 5 years is severely lacking in quality. Like, hell, when did Stranger Things start? Right? Stranger Things
6 years ago.
Because they took such a long break off. It started in 2016. Yeah. Like, bro, there isn't any show in the last 4 years that I'm like, this is must see. You need to see it right now. Like, this is one of the best television shows I've ever watched. If we made a top 10 list of television shows, they're all starting 2016 and before.
Yes, I'm not going to argue with that because most of my shows would probably come from shows that were started before 2016. But man, there's some really like Mr. Robot came out probably right around 2016, 17.
Yeah, but I don't know if you guys. That's the time frame. I love Mr. Robot. Yeah, that's the time frame I just said though.
But like we still have shows like Atlanta that came out, and you cannot hate on Atlanta. Like it's an amazing television show.
Yeah. So Mr. Robot was 2015.
It was 2015.
Yeah.
Silicon Valley was good.
Silicon Valley.
So Atlanta, the show came out 2016.
When did Peaky Blinders come out?
Silicon Valley American Comedy Series that came out 2014.
This is
Peaky
you
Blinders.
You guys ever watched Peaky Blinders? Yeah.
Peaky Blinders.
2013. We haven't named a single show that started post.
I got one.
Okay.
Euphoria.
I hate that. I know.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Wrong. No.
I'm just kidding.
No.
All right, that ends that conversation. Eric tried to defend it, failed miserably. He's probably going to do that thing where he sits down on the couch later and he's like, fuck, I didn't think of this show and that show. But unfortunately for us, we're oversaturated, right? Stories are told in an archetypal fashion. And therefore, we've pretty much seen everything we possibly can see, right? Which is the running joke. Like Harry Potter is Star Wars, with fucking wands and magic. Right. You know what I mean? So, like, it's incredibly difficult. But to say that we're in a golden era right now is crazy. On top of that, right, with the massive pay cuts that everyone's about to take and the stuff that companies are doing right now that are hoarding IP, they're canceling shows that have filmed. They're canceling movies that have filmed. They're canceling things that are already in the can. And these people aren't getting the credits. They're not getting the money that they were supposed to get from these movies airing. So we're on the precipice of another strike. If you thought it was bad already with the remakes, and I mean, Blind Spot was a movie, got a show. Shooter was a movie, got a show. Lethal Weapon was a movie, got a show. Hawaii Five-0 is being remade. Magnum PI is being remade. Like, we're in the doldrums of television, I feel like. We peaked a long time ago.
Can I just, and this is going to sound probably dumb, but, and I understand CBS and NBC, they have hitters. Like, we all know Friends and Seinfeld and Frasier and all those great shows from the past, right? And they were on network television. They were what do you call them? The audience, you can hear the audience clapping.
Sitcoms.
They were sitcoms, and that was all cool. To me, when you mention like a golden age of television, it has nothing to do with those networks. It has to do with HBO, Showtime, Stars, AMC, FX, them pushing the needle, and then we'll see what happens with their creativity and with what you said. I totally understand that it might be under bigger strike and it might cause more problems. I think the other networks are just a bunch of old heads who are just trying to recycle shit that worked for them in the 80s and 90s.
Well, it's also IP that they owned, right? So here's the Achilles heel of non-traditional television companies, coming into the sphere, right? Apple TVs, the Hulus, the Netflix, the Amazons, right? The Disney Pluses, the HBO Max, right?
The disruptors.
HBO is a traditional, right? But here's the real sticking point, right? When those people came into the sphere of television, they came in already owning a bulk of intellectual property that the other companies were producing, right? So, if you wanted to make a Star Wars TV show, you typically had to farm out to one of those companies, the NBCs, the Universals, that might be the same company, Fox, right? You had to farm out into these companies where now you can do everything in house, right?
Yeah.
And here's what I'll say. In the golden age of television, that was Grey's Anatomy. Grey's Anatomy started that. You understand? Like that is another show that started in the golden age of television. You can hate it all you want, but Grey's Anatomy is a fire fucking show.
No, I love Grey's Anatomy. I've watched 16 seasons of it. But
yeah, there's a reason why, because people love that shit.
One other reason why, and I do think this will probably be my biggest reason why, as far as we're not in the golden age anymore, is you take a show like, I don't know, one of the greatest shows ever written, like Entourage. You cannot have that show in today's society.
No chance.
And that's just pussy shit. The fact that people are so offended by a fake made-up character who gets his in the show, he gets cursed out. Like, whatever. I'm just saying, I think society is going to water down the content that's coming out because everybody's going to be tiptoeing around, oh, I don't want to be offensive to this and this.
No chance. The show you spotlighted was Euphoria, and that's all about high school kids doing a fuck ton of drugs and exploring fucking same sex.
I know, but that feels like the agenda that's being put. I mean, we're not going to go into that side of it, but that just feels like the agenda that's being pushed. And the narratives, like, you can't make a show where you call somebody the F word, like Ari Gold did 10 times an episode. But why? That's who he was, and he had the best relationship with that character that he was calling that. Like, it's so much more dynamic than just a word, but, like, you can't make shit like that anymore because people will fucking, their heads will explode. You can put kids doing drugs and fucking each other on television, but you can't drop certain no words.
Because they're fucking same sex, Eric. That's why.
Whatever, dude. Anyway.
All right,
that's a dark road that we're not going to go down.
So I just had a curious question. Shout out Revenge of the Pod for having this discussion on the golden age of television. For those of you who want to get more pop culture with your podcast, check out Revenge of the Pod. They discuss topic like this pretty regularly. With that being said, let's go ahead and get into pop culture pick'em.
Hey, they pay you?
Yeah, dog, I want my cut.
They pay you? No free marketing.
No free
plugs.
No free shout outs?
Yeah, no free shout outs. Yeah, we're not getting. Coors already pays us in beer that we buy each other.
All right, Nick. You open up Pop Culture Pick'em, top 5 rappers who act. Now, hold on, before we get into this, do they need to be phenomenal rappers? Or is it?
If they have an album and if they're an actor.
Okay.
That's it.
So like Shaq is, I could pick Shaq.
I would say you can pick Shaq, but that's
first pick, just so Eric doesn't take him, Will Smith.
I wasn't gonna take him, so enjoy it. That fucking bum.
First pick, I'm gonna take one of the illest MCs to ever do it, Queen Latifah.
Queen Latifah. I spelled that right?
Yo, she's such a funny mom in 22 Jump Street.
She's the best. Also, like, yo, she's bad as hell. She could get it, bro. Shout out Queen. If you listening, slide in the DMs.
Yo, she slides into Room 303 DMs. I'm answering that shit.
No, Jets. She don't want you, white boy.
All right. My first pick, I'm going to take Donald Glover, and then I'll follow that up with the best angry black man ever.
Ice Cube. Yes, sir. I guess that's back to me. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and take I'm going to hit Eric where it hurts. I'll take Andre 3000.
Ruthless.
I'll go Jamie Foxx. He's a rapper. Did he rap?
Yeah, he is. All
right, yep. I'll take Jamie Foxx. Then I'll take the other Ice rapper. I'm gonna take Ice-T.
All right.
I got next pick. I'll take Mark Wahlberg.
Damn, that was my next pick, dude. Fuck.
Marky Mark, baby. Let's go. I got a hitter list, bro.
Man, that's good. All right. I'm up. I'm double up. All right. I got to take my man because ladies love him.
LL Cool J? Damn,
LL
that's
Cool
who I
J.
was trying to get on the next turn, bro.
I'll take LL Cool J, and because I was tied to a chair and forced to watch his movies all the time growing up, I'm going to have to put Mr. Tupac Shakur in here.
Yeah, his movies are not that good, though.
They're terrible, but I had to watch them because of my black ass brothers.
Hey, shout out the culture, though. I do love me some Tupac, though. Damn, I'm next, huh?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. I don't know who I want, bro. Did Idris Elba ever rap?
Yes, he did.
He just DJ'd. No,
he
he's a
rapped.
DJ.
He rapped.
Oh, he's a DJ.
Bro.
No.
All right, I'm taking Idris Elba, bro.
All right.
Eric says he raps. I'm gonna trust him over you in this category.
Don't hurt me none. You know, I just talked about it. Hell on Wheels TV show. Give me my boy Common.
Yeah, I almost picked him with pick 3, and then I decided to hit Marky Mark instead, bro.
Yeah, give me Common. My final pick. Yo, I'm going original Fast and Furious movies. Give me that Ludacris, dude.
Hell yeah, bro. I love it, dude.
This has been our easiest. Why is this our easiest pop culture pickup so far?
It's because we all get hype when the rappers show up on screen, bro. So right here, I'm leaning one of two ways. I am either taking 50 or I'm taking T.I. And I'm really real torn. I love both, but I think 50 Cent is the better one. Although T.I. hits when he's on screen, bro. I'll tell you what. Takers, he was an American Gangster.
Oh, T.I. solid, man. T.I. solid.
Jeez.
But
T.I. is actually pretty good, too. Sorry, go ahead, Eric. Go ahead.
No, it's fine. T.I. is actually pretty good. But my next pick, I don't know if this is specifically because he was so funny in one role that it just stands out for me, but I'm going to put Sean Puffy Combs in here.
Oh, yeah. Get him to the Greek.
Yeah. Epic fucking
hate
performance.
that movie.
What?
I might need to rewatch it. I walked out of the theater after watching that movie, and I was upset.
Oh, sometimes you just got to pet the furry wall.
I hate
That's
Russell
what old pussy
Brand,
used
dude.
to look like in the 70s.
I hate Russell Brand. I think that's what it is, dude. Well, I hated. Now he's grown on me that I don't really care. I think it's forgetting Sarah Marshall that made him grow on me, but I've seen that movie too much.
Russell Brand?
Yeah.
Bro, all right, we're not gonna go way too far off course here, but do you like see him pop up on your social media? Okay,
yeah.
Cool. He's a wild motherfucker now.
My man's is out there, bro. Honorable mentions. ASAP Rocky, Nick Cannon, Jaden Smith.
I was gonna say Method Man's good in movies.
Well, he's all right. Good is generous, but yeah, he's for sure.
Lauryn Hill's good in movies.
What movies she been in?
Fuck, I have to pull it up. I know she's been in some movies.
My God said honorable mention and doesn't even know what movie.
He said, hold on. Honorable mention. Give me a second.
Oh, you know who nobody picked that should have been picked?
Bow Wow.
Bucks? No.
Wow, wow.
Like Mike was a fire movie. Don't even at me, bro. I own that shit on Blu-ray.
I was gonna say
you were
DMX,
talking.
but
Oh yeah.
I almost picked DMX, bro. And then shout out Little Dick. Shout out Little Dicky.
I guess Little Dick. Rap name is a dick joke.
Yo, that Dave show.
Dude, we forgot the GOAT.
Who? Mac Miller?
Aubrey Graham.
Oh, Degrassi. Yo,
Oh
I used to fuck with Degrassi real hard, bro. Yo, we did it again. Eric, you gotta share the pop culture pick'em screen when we do this. What's going on?
Oh,
here?
my bad, dude. You want me to do it now?
No, it's too late now. Can you read the list for us, please?
Yeah. So Nick took top 5 rappers who act. Nick went Will Smith, Jamie Foxx. Well, that's a question mark next to him because I think he's an R&B singer. Ice-T.
Bro,
Common,
he
and
did
Ludacris.
Gold Digger. He did Gold Digger. He's a rapper. He's a rapper. Okay, so what about the tracks where he actually raps? Is that not allowed?
I can't think of any. But anyway, Jermaine went Queen Latifah, Andre 3000, Mark Wahlberg, fucking steal of a pick, Idris Elba, and 50 Cent. I went Donald Glover.
Jamie
aka
Foxx,
Childish
musical
Gambino.
career, genres, R&B, soul, pop, hip-hop, comedy. Suck it, Eric.
Nah, didn't say rap. LL Cool J, Tupac Shakur, and Sean Puffy Combs, a.k.a. Puff Daddy, a.k.a. Diddy, a.k.a. Cornball.
AKA, I fucking hate that guy.
a.k.a. he's a pretentious douchebag.
Dude, he sucks, bro.
Yeah, he's a pretty bad person from what I've heard. Heard he likes to fuck Usher.
Yeah. Thank you, Nick. Yeah.
What?
That's just Instagram and TikTok getting away from me.
What are you on Instagram and TikTok that?
Conspiracy theories about how the music industry has all these dudes gay and shit.
Oh, okay. So this is a question that I asked my work friends. What is your favorite? You don't have to believe it's true. Yeah. What is your favorite conspiracy theory?
Flat Earth, because I want it to be true.
Okay.
I know it's not, but
now, how do you believe everything stays on the Earth, Eric? Is it the ice mountains at the end of the world?
No, I don't. Okay. I just like that fact that people think this bitch is flat. Like that doesn't. But also, gravity is kind of a confusing subject. Like it can keep all this water down and 2-ton cars down. Yeah. But a helium balloon just floats the fuck away.
Right.
Doesn't make no sense.
Yeah. Right. Okay, Jermaine, what's your? Those
are just some of the greatest hits from TikTok, bro. I don't believe any of that shit.
Well, you've already heard about my conspiracy theory about birds are fake, Europe doesn't exist, and the ocean isn't real.
Right.
But I'd like to interject that all Nicki Minaj songs are actually Jay-Z.
That's a great one.
Have you heard that?
No, I haven't. That's why I'm laughing, because it's a good. See, this is what I wanted when I asked the question. So highlights from my work: the St. Louis Arch is just a giant vertical hadron collider.
Okay.
Oh, I'm all in, bro. I'm all in, bro. What? Articles, sources, videos, please, sir, please.
So we just see half of the arch. So the bottom. The underground part is the other half of the Hadron Collider, right? Right?
That's cool.
I love that one, bro. That's great.
More highlights. Elvis isn't real, or Elvis is living out his life in Hawaii.
No, he's a pastor he's a pastor in Mississippi, bro. Have you seen the videos?
Nah.
It's crazy, man. Looks like him, sounds like him, big old fat like him.
And everyone that knows me is going to go, yeah, of course, this is your favorite one. My favorite one is Hitler didn't die in the bunker. He went to Argentina. So why in 1950 did the CIA release a note to its employees that was like, all right, Hitler's dead, but if he wasn't, here's 8 pictures on what he would look like disguised. Like, why are you guys doing that? Why do we care? He's dead.
Have you seen that new conspiracy that's going around?
What?
The one about the NFL?
Oh,
I believe.
I
believe.
have seen that.
I don't even need to see it. I press I believe.
Honestly, it's pretty damning. It's pretty damning.
What
Do I say it on the podcast?
Go ahead, say it.
right,
We're talking about conspiracy theories.
So
Go ahead.
tonight we have a Miriam Reserve Shiraz that we're cracking open
Get
for
the
the podcast.
fuck out of here.
All right, Eric, talk about it.
So the theory is
Ooh, that was nice.
DeMar Hamlin is actually dead. And the NFL is covering it up because there's going to be there would be all kinds of uproar and vaccine and stuff issues presented. At the game, every time they showed this man on the screen, you could not clearly see could not clearly see his face at all.
Yeah, but you couldn't see him at all. They could keep cutting to this man in a snowstorm in Buffalo.
My man was like this with sunglasses on and a hood up and a hat. This is all you saw, but it was sunglasses, so it was really like this. Like, I don't know who that was, bro. It's pretty crazy. If you kind of think about it, it's pretty crazy. My favorite thing now that they're telling us is the latest groundbreaking report from science is that the core of the Earth is now spinning in reverse.
Who did I hear that from?
So it was going one way, right? And now scientists claim that the core is spinning the other way.
I think I heard that happened a while ago, though.
No, I just read about it. So
what I'm saying a while ago, like in the last year, because I remember they asked a scientist about it, and they're like, well, "What does this mean?" And he goes, "I don't know." He goes, "The Earth is based on magnetic fields. So when the Earth spins this way, the core spins this way, and the core powers the magnetic field." He was like, "So maybe it was Joe. I don't know." But
one day ago, Earth's spinning inner core recently paused, then flipped its direction.
That's why my phone doesn't work. Fucking iPhone.
Question for you guys. So Nick asked his question. Now, what's one conspiracy, without going too much into detail, but that you absolutely firmly believe is real?
The CIA killed John Kennedy.
Okay, well, they came out and said that. But yeah.
I will build it up to a 30,000 foot view. Every CIA conspiracy you hear, real.
All right,
real.
Cool.
Except
Jermaine?
the dude that tells you is probably going to be killed.
That the Chicago Bulls will never win another fucking championship again. We just blew an 18-point lead to the Indiana fucking Pacers.
What do you guys think about the Jordan gambling one? That Jordan.
Oh, that's real. Mine is the 9/11 was an inside job. The 9/11. Mine is 9/11. 9/11 is an inside job. Secondly,
on the Googles.
Secondly, Pearl Harbor. We knew about Pearl Harbor and we let it happen so that way we can go wax that ass poetically.
I don't even know why that's a conspiracy theory. One day you randomly move the Pacific Fleet to another island? You just on a training maneuver? Hey, Captain, you should probably get out of Pearl Harbor just cuz.
Bro.
Hey, remember this war that's about to start? You should get all your people back on their boat, back on their ships, and take them someplace else, away from their families.
Yeah.
Dog, that shit don't fly. What do you think about the conspiracy theory that Jimmy Butler is just Michael Jordan's illegitimate son?
Oh, that's not a conspiracy. That's fact.
Okay, all right.
And
facts then.
Homeboy is Wilt Chamberlain's son. You know what I'm talking about. Jermaine?
You said homeboy, and you know what I'm talking about. I'm just supposed to piece it together.
Played for the Warriors.
You're talking about Otto Porter Jr.?
Yeah, Otto Porter Jr. There we go. That's Wilt Chamberlain's son, dude.
Bro, this is how it would be if you were playing like charades or Pictionary with Eric. He'd be like, no, you know, Jermaine, come on, you know. You'd just be pointing at me saying you know instead of giving me fucking clues.
No, man. We're supposed to be on that level.
He did give me no clues.
We're supposed to be on that level where we could just look at each other. Boom.
All right, so that wraps up.
I don't even need to act anything out. Just look at you. Boom.
That wraps up PCP. despite the fact that we have now closed out PCP for episode 170, should not distract you from the fact that Carlos Beltran is the first ballot Hall of Famer. Now, with that being said, let's get in to the NFL Divisional Round. There was 4 games in the NFL this weekend. Eric, would you like to kick it off for us?
Yeah. So we had the first game on Saturday was the Eagles versus the Giants. That was a blowout. 38-7 was never close. As far as the picks, you both picked Philly for that one.
Good
so
pick.
We're good. As far as at the beginning of the playoffs when you did your playoff picks. Okay. The next game that night, or actually, I'm sorry, no, the first game that day was the Chiefs and Jaguars.
Correct.
And Chiefs won. Patrick Mahomes got hurt. Toughed it out in the second half. They look scary as ever with him. You both
hashtag Chad Henne appearance that we got to see.
Chad Henne touchdown.
Yeah, Chad Henne tutty.
98-yard touchdown drive.
No, he didn't throw it though. They rushed.
No, I'm saying 98-yard touchdown drive. Like he didn't.
Without him, they're not scoring, is what we're saying. You're welcome, Kansas City.
Nah.
The gift of Chad Henne continues to give.
You guys both had Kansas City advancing at the beginning of these playoffs. The first game on Sunday was I forget which game was played first. It was the Bengals and Bills. In a game where they never showed DeMar Hamlin on camera. The Bills got beat 27-10. Joey B looks like not Dan Marino. Looks like he might be going to his second Super Bowl. We'll see. Nick picked.
Hold on. Dan Marino was a good quarterback. Let's not shade Dan Marino.
No, I know. I'm just talking about how we called him Dan Marino last year after the Super Bowl and shit. But
I stand by it.
Yeah.
Changed my mind.
Nick had Buffalo.
No way I had Buffalo.
No.
You had Cincinnati.
He had Buffalo, and I told him, you said the road goes through Cincinnati. Then he changed his pick.
Yeah. You had Buffalo.
I had
Buffalo. And then
I had Buffalo and Dallas since March.
Week 15. Nobody convinced me out of it. I said AFC Championship, KC, Cincinnati. By the way, everybody watching on YouTube just saw Eric die. I think that's what we just watched. He turned off his video, but before that, if you go to the slow motion replay, he's dead again.
That's not Eric. That's actually a clone.
That's a clone. Ooh, the Avril Lavigne one.
Sorry, I swallowed down the wrong pipe.
That's what she said.
And then the Sunday night game was the best game of the weekend.
Guffaw.
We had a drubbing of the Dallas Cowboys. They lost the San Francisco Niners 19-12.
Okay.
I know it wasn't a drubbing.
7 points is it? How many points is a drubbing? Because according to Tony Romo and Al Michaels, 17 points is a shellacking.
No, that's a trouncing. They're wrong.
Oh boy.
So what's a drubbing?
But here's the thing. Drubbing is not just point differential. Drubbing is 3 turnovers.
Yeah, you got to rush for like 300 yards. That's a drubbing.
Dak threw 2 red zone picks.
Dak Prescott had less yards than Brock Purdy, had more interceptions than Brock Purdy, had lesser yards per attempt than Brock Purdy, had a worse rating, and a worse QBR.
Can we talk about how San Francisco deserved in all aspects to lose that game?
Yeah.
Because they were given every single chance to. The final score should have been 40-7, like 40-12.
That speaks testament to Dallas's defense. But they got their asses whooped.
Wait, what? Well, hold on. What was that look for, Eric?
It has nothing to do with Dallas' defense. I actually respect Dallas' defense and think they have probably one of the best players in the NFL on the defensive side of the ball. But all week, all I had to hear was Cowboys fans say we had the number 1 defense when they clearly didn't. When the number 1 and number 2 ranked defenses are San Francisco and Philadelphia.
Okay, I don't know if this is an actual stat, Eric, but watching the game, Christian McCaffrey had greater than a 5-yard run starting in the 4th quarter when the game was out of hand.
I started that by saying
he thinks
I respect the Cowboys' defense. I think they're great.
First thing you said.
So why did you make that look?
Because all week and all weekend there was Cowboy fans in my chats, in my ear, we're the best defense. It's the best defense we've ever had. And I'm like,
I agree.
You're not the best defense in the NFL by a long shot.
They are not the best defense.
It is San Francisco and Philadelphia are the number 1 and 2 defenses almost across the board in everything.
And statistics back that up. Philadelphia Eagles had 70 sacks this year.
Third most all time. And I think 4 players had double-digit sacks.
It's a shame to only reach the NFC Championship with that.
Oh, well, it's a shame you didn't make the playoffs.
So
I was in the most competitive division in the NFL. Sorry, you can't say that.
Yeah. 3 teams from the NFC East made the playoffs, fam.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, all teams in the NFC South were separated by a game.
Yeah. Most competitive division in football.
Don't at me. 3.5 yards per carry for the 49ers team, by the way. On 32 attempts. 32 attempts, 3.5 yards per carry. So technically, every 3 carries, they were still getting a first down.
Can we? By the way, okay. Here's something that I get really annoyed with. Mm-hmm. Watching this game, we couldn't just say Niners player, Niners collective players, right? We had to say DeMeco Ryans' defense, Dan Quinn's defense. Yeah, Dan Quinn has led other defenses before, and they weren't this good. Can we start giving credit to individual players or groups of players or the players as a defense?
Well, Dan Quinn was the defensive coordinator for the Legion of Boom. So,
right, again, otherworldly players.
And we all know, but you just said he's never had a defense this good. I would argue the Seattle defense was better.
Their secondary.
They won a Super Bowl.
Oh, that means that's good defenses?
Yes.
Yo, so you're really telling me this Cowboys defense was better than that Seahawks
No, he's not.
defense?
He's just being a clown.
Okay.
Probably as a whole, yes. Probably as a whole, yes.
Oh, my God. No way.
You couldn't throw on that Seattle defense.
Bobby Wagner, KJ Wright, Cam Chancellor, Earl Thomas, Richard Sherman, and then every year they produced a corner that fucking got pounced by someone else. Brandon Browner comes to mind. Then you had Bruce Irvin, Michael Smith on the D line. That D line was ferocious. That defense was outstanding. And you know one of the reasons you couldn't throw on that defense is because of the pressure they were getting up front.
Give me stats then.
I just looked it up in my head. I just named the entire defense.
No. That's worse than Wikipedia.
You can't even name 7 Dallas Cowboys defensive players right now.
Leighton Vander Esch, Micah Parsons, Trayvon Diggs, DeMarcus Lawrence. Oh, who's that big motherfucker? Robinson or whatever the fuck his name is.
That doesn't count.
Yeah, that sounds official. I think that's on his jersey.
Yeah, okay, I guess.
But
also, Diggs ain't that good. Can we just, for the record, he's not that good. He gets beat all the time.
He did shut down some pretty top receivers this year. I would love to hate on him with you. But he had good games.
Sick. He had this year with some good games, and last year he gave up the most yards receiving in the NFL.
Yeah. But to Nick's point, as far as giving individual credit, that has to be done because DeMeco Ryans is not going to take a head coaching job and have this defense next year, number one. He's not going to have the number 1 defense in the league. He's going to have to build it. Now, if he builds it, then it's his defense. But until then, it's he's just coaching a group of men that are doing the work for him.
Yeah, but look at Robert Saleh. Robert Saleh turned in the Jets. Who had Jets defense top 10 this year?
Me.
Shut the fuck up, bro.
That's why I picked him to be second in division.
Oh, my God. Fuck out of here. Nobody had Jets defense top 10, bro. Nobody. That was Robert Saleh. Like, D coordinators still deserve some pub, for sure. We just happen to be in the coaching cycle during the playoffs. Right? And that is Eric and I have a firm point on this that we fucking hate it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm glad it can't happen anymore since we're in the NFC Championship. But the fact that Steichman and Gannon were being interviewed in the middle of playoff preparation weeks, like, dog, save that shit for after. We have game planning to do. We got coaching to do. We got money to make and games to win. Like, get off my Nuggets. And if that pisses off the owners and the other coach and you don't want to hire me for it, then you don't understand the value of winning and why I'm focused and I don't deserve to be at your organization. Or you don't deserve me at your organization.
Bro, Eric brought up a good point. You should not be able to interview playoff coaches until they're eliminated.
Well, I think even gentleman rules, you shouldn't want to interview coaches if they're in the playoffs, like Eric said.
You know how annoyed you'd be if you were prepping for the Super Bowl and your fucking OC had a dip for a fucking...
And I was doing research on some of these interviews. Some can be like an hour, like a quick one, but they're mostly like 5-6 hour interviews. Yeah. Where they want to know what players you like, what players you don't like, what strategy you mean, what scheme are you going to run, like who are you looking to get?
No. I can't get a job at McDonald's in an hour.
Bro, they're going to pay this dude millions of dollars. Yes, they're going to spend a fourth to a third of their day to interview them.
I'm not talking shit about the amount of the length of the time of the interview. What I'm saying is that's he has to prep for a 6-hour interview, which probably you got to quadruple the hours of prep for the interview if you're somewhat decent of a person. So you got to put 24 hours into the prepping for that shit?
Probably, but I don't think you should. If you're a good coordinator, you should already have that shit ready to go. But that's neither here nor there. I agree with you. They definitely still need a prep for sure. All right, so biggest
time away from the team. Sorry, go ahead.
No, yeah. We beat that horse into the ground. Yeah, so I was keeping it pushing. All right, biggest surprise of the weekend.
Mine is Eli Apple actually found his cojones and decided to play corner.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I just fundamentally hate Eli Apple. So
right. So you know why you fundamentally hate Eli Apple?
Because he used to play for the Saints.
Because he talks, and gets burnt.
Yeah, because he used to play for the Saints.
I'll say my biggest surprise of the weekend is the fallout the Cowboys had and not the fallout the Bills are having. Or the fallout the Bills aren't having. I think with this team, I know they lost Von Miller, and they're still going to be in the conversation for one of the best teams in football. But at some point, man, you got to get over the hump, and people got to start talking a little bit of shit. Like, hey, is Josh Allen Phillip Rivers 2.0, or is he going to go win a fucking Super Bowl?
Well, not many people win a Super Bowl, so I don't understand how that makes him Phillip Rivers. He lost.
My reason I would call him Phillip Rivers is the big arm, the big stats, and the inability to reach. I mean, he's gotten to AFC Championship games. There's no knock on him. I know he's right at the door of a Super Bowl, but that's why I would call him Phillip Rivers 2.0 because he's got the stats, he's got the arm, solid player, but he just doesn't have that take it to the next level.
He lost to the team that was in the Super Bowl last year.
Yes. They deserve to be there. I'm just saying that's probably one of my biggest things is like, maybe it is because America hates fucking the Cowboys so much. All these talking heads want to bury them. But I didn't feel like there was as much outrage for the Bills losing as there should have been. Like everybody's, just next season. Like, no, you got to make improvements. Like
the Bengals are a better team than the 49ers.
Yeah, and everybody is riding Joe Burrow like nobody's business.
Yeah.
I mean, for the last 4 days, I've seen friggin' or what? When did they play? They played Sunday night.
Well, he's going up against a bad man on Sunday.
For the last,
he's gonna beat him because fucking Patrick Mahomes' ankle's hurt, and it's gonna make the slight difference on one play, and that's gonna be the deciding factor in this. Joe Burrow's never lost to Patrick Mahomes.
3-0, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We'll see, man. Hopefully, it's a good weekend of football.
I don't know if it's gonna be a good. It might be. I think we're gonna have one good game.
Yeah, we're reaching our limit for good games here. And even if you look at it, like 49ers Cowboys was not a good game. It was a close game. But it was hard to watch.
None of these games were good.
I mean Cincinnati Bills was a blowout. That game was over. That game felt over halfway through the third.
If that was a blowout, what the fuck is the Eagles game?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Fuck. That's why I didn't even. I put the Eagles. I watched the first quarter of the Eagles game, and I was like, I'm gonna go do stuff I want to do now.
Me too. I joked around with Eric. And I was like, "Hey man, can I put the sound on the UFC fights?"
Yeah.
That game was that was a trouncing if I've ever seen one, bro. That was a fucking ass whooping. This is the same thing. They have like a few. Actually, this weekend didn't even have that. But this is the same thing that I had to deal with last year. Everyone was just like, "Oh my god, what good games!" And I was like, "Yo, all 4 of those divisional round games were dog shit until the very end." Last year, this year they were all bad.
Oh, I was like, I don't know. The best part of, I don't know. I guess for me, like the Eagles being up, that's a great game to me. But that's biased because I'm
Okay, look. Your view of that game was my view of the 2015 NFC Championship when I was so scared of this Cardinals defense, and Carolina came in and beat the shit out of them, and I was just like, it was Germany Brazil. It was like super. But to non-Eagles fans, Eric, it was like, why the fuck did I reserve time in my Saturday?
If you watched the 38-7 playoff game and it was like fucking the Cardinals versus the Commanders.
I was just gonna say I'm biased because it was an Eagles dub.
Yeah, goddamn right you're biased.
So I was gonna say outside of that, it was a very bad weekend for football.
Dude, it was like 24-0. Like, yeah. I was like struggling to pay attention to this football game, dude.
It was over. I was mad that I was spending my afternoon doing that.
100%. I can't help it, but when they scored that touchdown, even though it was the lone touchdown of the game, I got fucking mad as shit.
Of course you did. You want to pitch a shutout in the play? Like, Eric, we're not judging you for being a good fan. We're just saying that as non-Eagles fans, it was a horrendous game to have to slog through.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was tight for the first quarter because the Philadelphia Eagles were playing real well. And then it was 21-0, and I was just like, what the fuck am I doing with my life?
Right.
I saw somebody tweet, what was it? Hey, at least we got another week of Jalen resting his shoulder.
That's good. That's good.
That's cold. How many rushing yards the Eagles have in that game, Eric?
Over 200. I'll pull it up, but yeah, it was over 200.
Remember, when you rush for over 200 yards, you generally win a football game.
Oh yeah, is that your professional opinion?
Yeah.
All right. As Eric's looking this up, I think that wraps up our divisional review. For those of you not paying attention, we ended up with 2 matchups, right? The NFC Championship will be contested between the number 1 seed Philadelphia Eagles and the number 2 seed San Francisco 49ers. This will be played at Lincoln Field. Then we have the Cincinnati Bengals traveling to Arrowhead. The third-ranked Bengals traveling to the first-ranked Kansas City Chiefs, and that'll be the late game on Sunday. It'll be 6:30 Eastern, and the Eagles will be 3 p.m. Eastern.
Interestingly enough, no primetime games on Sunday. Does this impact the players?
Only the ones named Kirk Cousins. For those of you at home, the Philadelphia Eagles had 268 rushing yards.
It's a lot.
And that's 4 different runners.
God bless.
No stress.
God bless. All right, so Eric, will you share the odds? That way we can get into picking these 2 games.
Oh, we're doing that on this episode?
Oh, wait. Are we not doing that on this episode?
No, I was just going to go over the records for last week's picks. Nick's Nuggets went 3-0.
Yeah, buddy.
Nicholas went 4-0, and Jermaine went 3-5, bringing their playoff record to Nick's Nuggies 5-3-1, Nick 9-4-1, and Jermaine 7-8-1.
Mine is wrong. 7-6-1.
6.
I told you I wasn't betting Tampa anymore because I was picking Dallas to win that game.
All right.
You even had me with Dallas, and then you marked it red painfully. I had to. I was rocking Dallas Buffalo since March. I could finally get off that train and pick these games. Pick these games fair now. I was hoping, bro. Could you imagine? First of all, I don't know why I cared so much. It's not like I bet it in March, but I was like, yo, there's a fucking snowball's chance in hell that I can hit this, bro. And no joy. No joy. Ooh. All right. So that's crazy, man.
Knicks Nuggets, baby. Works in the playoffs.
That's the only time, bro.
Actually, Knicks Nuggets did pretty well this year, which means next year fade the fuck out of Knicks Nuggets.
Yeah. First of all, no matter if we continue to hit on anything, the podcast motto remains: fade us.
Even when we're millionaires and better than all of you listening, fade us.
Do not bet what we're betting. Fade us.
Bet the opposite.
You'll make good money.
Right.
You'll make good money. All right. So, nothing else for the listeners at home?
Nothing for me.
No.
That's it.
Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Podcast Room303. I've been your host, Jermaine Mendez. This has been my co-host, Nicholas Moorhan. And as always, we have with us EPE. We'll see you next time when you come on down and step into the room.